everybody. Thank you for joining us here tonight. We'll start with the opening statement from the coach and take questions. Coach?
Promise I won't cry tonight. Maybe tomorrow, but not tonight. Just really proud of our team tonight, guys. I mean, this was a game we had to really dig down and get. I mean, so much kind of going through the game and how they were playing. Obviously, you know, they're down one of their best guys in Claude, which makes a big difference. But you got to take advantage of that. And, you know, I thought our guys did a lot of good things along the way and to get the 15-point lead and then to rally after losing the lead and losing the momentum after the 4-point play, you know, to keep our poise and to, you know, go to Nick, get him in the right spot. They were running guys at him, you know, the last 10 minutes of the game. We kind of got him in an area where it was a little bit harder to trap, and he was able to kind of split the double team and get to what I call the flipper and bring us home there, and then give Ty a lot of credit. You know, I thought we did a really good job with 2.8. You know, you can't let them throw down the floor. You got to try to make the ball come back to the towards the baseline. Excuse me. We did a good job of that, and Ty did a good job staying in front of Slaggert and, you know, kind of making him lose the ball there. So team win all around. So proud of Nick Martinelli's leadership. I mean, he was, you know, I challenged him now with Brooks being out, not so much with scoring, but just with leadership. Like, this is your team now, and you got to step up and be vocal and hold guys accountable and bring these young guys along. And I thought he was outstanding as a leader tonight with all the, you know, the disruption, especially then you lose Jalen there the last 8 minutes, and we don't know yet on Jalen. You know, we'll figure things out. Obviously, he hurt his knee there. You know, and we'll pray that it's nothing serious. But I don't want to be premature with anything because I don't. You know, we have to figure out tomorrow once we can get the right testing to see that he's going to be okay. So we'll definitely pray for that. You never want to, you know how I feel about guys getting hurt, you know, and especially when you play in college. So hopefully it's nothing major, but, you know, really proud of Justin Mullins. Thought he was fantastic tonight coming in, giving us 14 points, 7 rebounds. Even Blake Smith coming in, you know, hadn't played a whole lot. Felt the young guys were a little overwhelmed, the freshmen, and just kind of leaned on a veteran tonight to come in and try to stabilize us defensively. And not only that, but he made 4 big free throws. So this was a huge win for us. I told our guys, when you lose 3 in a row, you know, you got to try to get one, right, to regain some momentum. And we talked about it. I think Nebraska lost 5 or 6 in a row, and everyone thought they were sputtering. You know, all of a sudden they found a way to beat Illinois in overtime at home, and then they go out west and win at Oregon. You know, and then all of a sudden you start regaining some confidence and momentum. So this was a huge game for our confidence to get back on the winning side of things. And you know, now we got to go out to the Pacific Northwest, which will be a new trip for us. I know our guys will be excited about that and try to see if we can get ready for Saturday night.
Nick had 13 rebounds, 10 were offensive rebounds. I mean, you've had a lot of great rebounders come through this program. Have you ever seen a player have that kind of proportional night on the offensive glass?
Yeah, probably the closest would be maybe one of Derek Pardon's nights. You know, he would probably be the other guy that I would say kind of that I coached that, you know, had some nights where you just felt like he was getting every offensive rebound. But, you know, Nick just won the game tonight with his will. And, I mean, he took it really hard. You know, Nick and Brooks are best friends. I know you guys know that. They cover us a lot. They live together. They're like brothers. And, you know, Nick so badly on Saturday afternoon wanted to come through with a performance, you know, to honor his best friend and to try to win that game. And he felt like he let us down. And, you know, and I just told him, I said, Nick, man, you didn't let us down. Like, we need you to be aggressive. You know, it's funny that he ended up taking them. I said, if you take 25 shots, I'm fine with it, man. Like, I don't know that he's ever had I know for damn sure at Glenbrook South, the coaches didn't tell him to shoot more. The first time he's ever had a coach that's told him to shoot more. So we just need him to be aggressive. We need to play off him right now. And, you know, and hopefully, like I honestly, too, guys, you look at our 5 position tonight with Matt Nicholson and Keenan Fitzmaurice, they combined for 17 points and 9 rebounds. You know, and that's just really good production from that spot, and was proud of both of those guys. And, we obviously got to get Ty. We were able to get him 13 looks. We need his double-figure scoring, and then we got to keep developing our two young kids because we need those guys. And they're hitting the freshman wall a little bit. I can see it in their faces, and it's hard, and it's really hard to play at this level against older guys and good coaches. And I gotta boost those guys up. We gotta have a good couple days because as we get into these last 8 games, we really need Angelo and KJ to be able to help us out there, and I'm confident that they will.
After Justin Mullins checked in with just a few minutes into the contest, he played the remainder of the game. What did you see out of him today that, just didn't let you bring him off the court?
Yeah, I just felt like, man, the athletes they had, he matched up well, with, they had a lot of big, strong physical wing athletes, whether it be Agbo, whether it be St. Thomas, whether it be Yates. I thought, he just matched up kind of better to their personnel. And I thought, honestly, he was bringing the energy. You felt it right away. Forget about the shots. You guys have heard me talk about it all the time. The shots go in when you play the right way. When you play with the right energy and you have the right spirit and you're competing, the shots are going to go in because you're not thinking about them. You're thinking about competing. So I just liked the way he looked. I felt like at halftime it was a 2-point game. We needed to start him and just couldn't take him off the floor and thought he did a really nice job. Especially they were ramping up the pressure there at the end of the game. And he took care of the ball and didn't turn it over. And hopefully this will be a real growth game for him as we move forward to these last 8.
Coach, without Barnheiser, you're missing your team's leading rebounder, and tonight you out-rebound them 43-27, 23-7 on the offensive glass. Just what does that say about the fight and the level of physicality in this team despite Barnheiser's absence?
Yeah, I thought these last 2 games we got back to kind of being us. I was really disappointed in the Illinois and Rutgers game. I thought they brought the fight to us in both those games with loose balls, with rebounding, physicality. I thought we got, kind of manhandled in those areas in those 2 games and really challenged our guys after those 2 to get back to being who we are, because it's not going to be pretty with us guys. I mean, obviously with Brooks, we're going to have to win ugly. We're going to have to find a way to get enough points. We're going to have to hopefully keep guys. I was hoping they weren't going to score 75. I mean, I'm glad we got 77, but we got to keep the games closer to 70s, 60s if possible with our defense. You got to manage possessions. We got to be efficient offensively. And so that's kind of how it's going to be the rest of the way. So I just thought we got back to kind of Northwestern values these last couple games with physicality and fight and toughness.
Is there anything specific you saw on Saturday in your first game without Brooks that you adjusted ahead of this game?
Still kind of learning. So much of what we did obviously was around Brooks and even Nick as he emerged. So just being able to, just like who starts, who comes off the bench, rotations, how do you sub? When you play the first 20 games, you kind of get that routine as a coach, right? This is when this guy gets tired and this when you give him a rest and now we come in with this guy and then all of a sudden your best guy's out and it kind of throws everybody off. And so just kind of learning rotations, I think we're still figuring that out. Who starts, who comes off the bench. Keenan's emergence has really helped us and his energy. We need it. I mean, he gives you juice, man, when he's out there. And I love that. I mean, I love that about players. I mean, I tried to pride myself when I played on being an energy giver. And, his emergence the past few games has really helped us out. And, I think having a couple days, I mean, we've been going every 2 days with games, and you kind of go game prep to game prep and working through injuries. And now we'll see what Jalen's availability is going forward. Hopefully he'll be okay. But that's just kind of how it is. And everyone's going through it. I mean, they didn't have Claude tonight, so they had to go through it too. And you just kind of go out there with who you have and you try to figure out how you can win on a given night. And fortunately for us, we did that.
Given the novelty of a road trip out west in the middle of the conference season, change in time difference, longer flight, is there anything you're going to be changing in your road trip routine?
Yeah, I'm going to try to, when we get out to Oregon, I'm going to try to leave the team and go over to Bandon Dunes and get a couple rounds in. That's like one of my favorite places on earth, so we never get close. Coach Goss is in the back. He's smiling. So I might just turn the whistle over to Coach Lowry or Coach James. So if you don't see me on the Oregon game, I'm in Bandon. So so I'm just giving everybody the heads up right now.
This team has faced a lot of adversity this season. How does a tough, gritty win like today's help propel you guys forward as the season is kind of coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully confidence and momentum. Guys, the Big Ten season's a grind. It's 20 games. I tell you guys this all the time. I mean, there's very few teams that haven't gone through a 2 or 3 game losing streak. The 1 or 2 that don't are probably going to be the teams that come in first and second. I mean, everybody's kind of, even Wisconsin, they started 0-2. And everybody's like, well, and then they reeled off 7 in a row, So, I mean, there's examples all over the place of you hit a rough part of your schedule, and you can play well and still lose because these teams, like, there's no guys. This league, there's no. I'm not saying it's the best or not the best. I'm just telling you there is no game that you go into that you feel like, man, we're just going to win tonight because like every single team is so well coached, so well prepared. Everyone has really good players. And everyone has an atmosphere if you play on the road that's very tough. So when you win, you want to use that momentum of confidence. And, like, that's what we talked about. We said, guys, look, everyone's saying we have 9 games left, which is great. Let's just win the next one. Let's go 1-0. And let's beat Southern Cal on Tuesday. And let's wake up on Wednesday. And let's get ready to turn that into 2. And maybe 2 into 3. So, nothing like winning. The taste of winning. I mean, we hadn't won for a couple weeks. When you don't win and you're putting a lot of time in, it wears on you. So for these guys to smile and get a great win was awesome tonight. It was awesome.
Last question, Matt.
This is your first win since Brooks was done for the year. Do you
Yeah.
feel like there's a little bit of kind of like an exhale and a refocus of kind of knowing that you can do it with him on the side?
Well, I think what gave us the confidence really, Matt, was the first 4 games of the year. We didn't have Brooks the first 4. We went 3-1. We, had a lead at Dayton, with 8 minutes to go. We took them to the wire without him in one of the toughest road venues that you're going to see in the country. So we, when we knew he wasn't going to be back, we kind of tried to draw upon, that experience of not having him early in the season. And then, I don't know if it's an exhale. It's just like a confidence knowing like, hey, we're still good enough. We can still figure it out. And although we're going to miss everything he brings on both ends of the floor, there's nothing we can do about it now. All we can do is just be a little bit better and give a little bit more and try to put ourselves in positions to be competitive and we're going to be in close games, guys. You know that. We're not, hopefully we don't get blown out, but we're probably not going to blow anybody out. And so can we get ourselves to that last 8 minutes with a chance to win and then make the plays necessary like we did tonight?
Wrap us up.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Thank you.
We're here with Justin Mullins and Nick Martinelli. Any questions for these two? Ethan?
Nick, can you just walk us through that timeout with just over 12 seconds remaining, the play call, and then what you knew coming out of that timeout, and just walk us through that game-winning shot?
Yeah, I remember walking to the bench, and Brooks was just like, you got to go win it for us. And I was like, yeah, my foot's not feeling too good, so I think I got to win it right now. Just prayed to God as always. He strengthened me and allowed me to make that shot. That's basically what happened.
Knowing that they're probably going to double team you, how does that affect you going into that play?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I was going to shoot it regardless, so it was just like I just needed to see where the double team was coming from, and I kind of lost it and like almost went out of bounds, and I was able to split the double because I was kind of in like a fetal position, and they didn't think I was going to be able to like pick it up and split, so I just picked it up and split, and I had like a wide open shot. So.
Justin, you played the most minutes you've ever played at Northwestern, season high 14 points. What really got you to have a game like that? How are you feeling?
Yeah, this week we kind of just talked about, obviously with losing Brooks, we just got to rally around each other, next man up. Everybody had to step up, and I just tried to do my part, and it just really worked for me tonight. So, I just kept it going, and we got the win, so, yeah.
Nick, you mentioned your foot was nagging towards the end of the game. Is there any long-term concern there?
No.
Next up, you guys have a trip to the Pacific Northwest. That's a new thing for Northwestern. Curious what both of your thoughts are heading into that. It's a new thing. I'm sure it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we got to go out there and handle business. Obviously, it is exciting. I've been to the West Coast a couple of times, but the bottom line, we just got to go out there and handle business. So we're locked in. Yeah.
Justin, you were briefly out of the rotation altogether a couple weeks ago. How did you stay ready knowing your chance was going to come again?
Yeah, it's kind of something I dealt with last season. And I just understood I always had to be ready. They can just call your number at any time, and when they do, you just got to be ready. So, just staying in the gym, talking to my coaches, and just continuing to put in the extra effort. And I just felt like I was ready tonight, so it worked out for me. Yeah.
Sponge?
Nick, 10 offensive rebounds for you today. Some of them off your own misses too. What were you just seeing out there for you to get so many of those today?
Yeah. There was one play where I just kept slapping it at the rim and it kept coming back, so that definitely helped for the offensive rebounds. But yeah, I definitely thought that was something that I got away from for a while, and obviously with Brooks out, he's a monster on the glass. I knew I had to get back on the glass, and yeah, I'm just glad we won.
Nick, Coach kind of talked about you taking on an even bigger leadership role now without Brooks. How are you handling that transition without having him on the floor?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. As I said in the last press conference that I did, this is my family, this is my baby, and I have to treat it that way, you know. All these guys are my family, and I care for each and every one of them. And I kind of just had to get, it gives me opportunity to get out of my own head and worry about, my own problems and worry about the team, everybody on the team, their feelings, trying to get everyone better. And yeah, it definitely will help propel me next season.
Nick, Coach also talked about how for the most recent game against Wisconsin, mentioned that you and Brooks are so tight off the court and you felt like you had to go out there and win it for him, honor him in some way. Did you feel like you were able to accomplish that and do that for Brooks tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we have a long season ahead still, and I think we just have to take it one game at a time. That's what he would do. He was a great role model for me, and I'm kind of following what he was as a leader, He would go to practice every day last year after playing 40 minutes and want to be on every single rep. And that's something he always inspired me and my teammates, and that's something I wanted to take on when I kind of got this, more of a leadership role.
Any more questions? All right, wrap us up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.